Welcome to Básico Inglés 4.0, the radio show with Kyle Miller. Following class by class, step by step, the material of Básico Inglés 4.0 on Aprende Inglés TV. Class 189. Let's go! Beginner. Hello and welcome to class number 189. Today we'll get started with a little review of yesterday's content, a review starting with the verb to sleep. I love to sleep. Every day I sleep. Yesterday I slept. Yesterday I slept. Okay? So we have that T at the end, in the past, slept. Okay? Now be careful we don't say asleep. There's no vowel sound before the S. Sleep. I sleep, you sleep, he sleeps, she sleeps. We sleep. You sleep, they sleep. Did you sleep well last night? Did you sleep well? Yes, I slept well last night. Did you sleep in a hammock last summer? A hammock? Last summer, for example. Outside, you know, the hammock that you can hang between two trees, for example. It's great. I love sleeping in hammocks. But I didn't sleep in a hammock last summer. Now, in the summer, do you sleep with a fan on? With a fan on. Do you? Well, ask me. Ask me if I sleep with a fan on. Puesto. A fan, un ventilador. Kyle, do you sleep with a fan on? Yes, I sleep with a fan on in the summer. In the winter, no. I do sleep with a fan on. I do not sleep with air conditioning on. I don't have air conditioning in my house. But I do sleep with a fan on, blowing on me, blowing air on me to cool me down. Yes. All right. So the verb to sleep. Yes. And when we sneeze, when we sleep, we can snore, which is roncar. To snore. I don't think I snore. No, I don't think I snore. Maybe a little bit, but I don't snore much. To snore. But yes, I sleep well. I typically sleep deeply. Yes. When I fall asleep, to fall asleep, to become, to enter into that state of sleeping, to fall asleep. I usually fall asleep quickly, and then I wake up. I wake up when my alarm goes off in the morning. Yes. Okay, so now we saw, the other thing we saw yesterday was we were practicing pronouns, the pronouns this, that, these, and those. So esta, this. We saw the sentence, esta colina es alta. This hill is high. This. Not these, but this. This hill is high. Estos son tuyos. These, plural, these are yours. These are yours. Esos zapatos fueron baratos. Those shoes were cheap. Those shoes, esos, o esas, those shoes were cheap. And then esos, those. Esos estaban en la estantería. Those were on the shelf. So this, that, these, and those. Now remember, we have the pronunciation here with the TH. And to pronounce the TH properly, you have to stick out your tongue. Hay que sacar la lengua. This. No es this. If your tongue stays in your mouth and touches the roof of your mouth behind your teeth, you have a D sound, dis. But it's not dis, it's this. This. This, that, these, those. So hay que sacar la lengua, es muy importante. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our word of the day. Word of the day. Okay, our word of the day today is until, which is hasta. So here we are quantifying time. Hasta, until. I will be here today until 6 o'clock. I will be on the radio until 6 o'clock. Yes. Every day my show is on the radio until 6 o'clock. Yes. I teach classes in the morning. Well, I teach until 2:30. I do. Until. Hasta. Until. Now, sometimes hasta is up to. Up to. Two separate words. Up to. We use up to instead of until when we're talking about things other than time. For example, I read up to page 57. I read up to chapter 12. I saw up to the third episode, capítulo, episode of the program, the television show. But when we're talking about time, I stayed at the restaurant until 11 o'clock. Until would be hasta in that case. So hasta can be until or up to. But remember the difference. Until is used with time, and up to is used in other cases. All right, now we can move into the new material for class number 189, and we see the verb to decide. ¿Qué es decidir? To decide. Every day I decide. Yesterday I decided. So ask me if I decided to stay in Madrid in August. Kyle, did you decide to stay in Madrid in August? No, I didn't decide to stay in Madrid. In fact, I haven't decided yet. Todavía no he decidido. I haven't decided yet. Not yet. I should decide soon, though. Yes. Did you decide to study English this year? Yes, I decided to study English this year. Did you decide to do anything important yesterday? Give me an affirmative answer. Yes, Kyle, yes, I decided to do something important yesterday. Ask me who decided to create this course. Kyle, who decided to create this course? Well, Richard Brown and Richard Vaughn, I suppose, decided to create this course. I think Richard Brown he thought of the idea, and Richard Vaughn, of course, approved the idea and decided that the company would do this, that we would commit to this very big, this massive project that is the Básico Inglés 4.0 course. Because, yes, it is a very big project for us, yes. So yesterday, I decided to go away this weekend. I'm going to just go to the mountains near Madrid. But I decided yesterday. I made the decision. Se dice to make a decision. Hacer una decisión, to make a decision. Normalmente no se dice take, no. Hay gente que dice take a decision, but no. We say to make a decision. Tomar una decisión, pero to make a decision, yes. So I made the decision yesterday to go to the mountains near Madrid. To go to the mountains. I decided that. I made the decision. Right? Ask me when I decided to move to Spain. Kyle, when did you decide to move to Spain? When? I decided to move to Spain in 2003. Ask me why I decided to move to Spain. Kyle, Why did you decide to move to Spain? Well, I decided to move to Spain because the people seemed very friendly, the weather was good, and I thought I could get a job teaching English. And it seemed like an interesting job. It seemed like a nice place to live. So I decided, in 2003, I decided to move to Spain, and I decided to try to work with Vaughan Systems. And I'm glad, me alegro, I'm glad that Vaughan Systems decided to hire me. Yes. So the verb to decide is the verb we're looking at now. To decide. Okay? Él decidió quedarse en Madrid en agosto. He decided to stay in Madrid in August. Okay? He decided. Decided to infinitive. All right, let's move on now and take a look at our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. All right, it is time for our vocabulary of the day, our 5 words of vocabulary. We have the first word today, en lugar de. En lugar de. Here we say, rather than. Rather than. Rather than go to the beach, I decided to go to the mountains. Rather than go to the beach, I decided to go to the mountains. Cordero. Cordero is lamb. Rather than eating chicken, I decided to eat lamb. Palillo de dientes. Toothpick. This is a toothpick. A toothpick. Yep, a toothpick. Sometimes I use a toothpick after a meal. If you eat beef or if you eat certain types of meat, maybe it's nice to have a toothpick. If you eat lamb, yes, if you eat lamb rather than chicken, you may want to use a toothpick. Egipto. Egipto. This is Egypt. Of course, Egypt. Yes. Egypt. If I went to Egypt rather than Segovia, I wouldn't eat lamb. Yes. And I wouldn't need the toothpick. And rather than needing a toothpick, here I am using all the words, rather than, en lugar de, cordero, lamb, palillo de dientes, toothpick, Egipto, Egypt. I would, okay, well, I can't think of a way to continue here, but crear, to create, yes, to create, create. Okay, think of the pronunciation like the number 8, but create, C-R-E-A-T-E. All right, now, our last point for today, the last thing we're going to look at is to spend time. I spend a lot of time with this program. I spend a lot of time talking about grammar. I spend a lot of time in the radio studio. So, you spend time, if you're talking about the action, we use the gerund. I spend a lot of time talking on the radio. I spend a lot of time sitting in this chair. I spend a lot of time speaking into a microphone. Spend time plus gerund. Not pastime. No se dice, I pass the time. No. Pasar el tiempo. But no, we say, bueno, pasar tiempo haciendo algo. But we say to spend time plus gerund. Okay? Ask me how much time I spent preparing this class. Kyle, how much time did you spend preparing this class? I spent an hour preparing this class. Yes. And then X number of hours or days or years. I spent all day preparing yesterday's class. I spent all morning preparing tomorrow's class. I spent 1 hour preparing this class. Okay? How much time do you spend studying every day? How much time do you spend studying every day? Maybe an hour. Do you spend an hour studying every day? 2 hours? It would be nice to spend, I hope you spend at least an hour every day studying English. Time well spent, we can say. How much time did you spend studying yesterday? I spent 2 hours studying yesterday. How much time did you spend in the supermarket last week? How much time? I spent an hour and a half, 90 minutes in the supermarket last week. Ask me how much time I spend in the radio studio every week. So in the radio studio, recording, planning, working. Kyle, how much time do you spend in the radio studio every week? Well, I spend a few hours. Well, several hours. I spend probably 12 hours in the studio every week. Probably 12 hours, yes. Ask me how much time I spend teaching every week. Kyle, how much time do you spend teaching every week? Well, I spend, probably about 30 hours teaching every week. I also spend a lot of time on the metro. I spend a lot of time sitting on the metro. I spend a lot of time in transit, on the metro, on buses, getting to work, coming and going. To spend time, I spend a lot of time crossing the city. Yesterday, I spent about 2 hours on a bus and on the metro. I spent. So notice how in the past we have the T sound. It's very strong, the spent. And also the participle. Lately, I have spent a lot of time in the metro, on buses. So to spend time, either in a location, in a place, or with the action, we use the gerund to spend time. I thank you very much for spending time listening to this show. I'm glad, me alegro, again, I'm glad that you spend time every day listening to my show. I'm going to finish now because I'm out of time. I have spent all my time, and now I'd like to stop and take a short break, but I'll be back in a few minutes with the intermediate portion of today's class. Keep listening. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.